Hello, 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 and welcome to Survivor Debrief. My name's Eden Porter, the unlucky loser from Survivor Titans vs Rebels, and with me, as always, is my comedic partner and real-life brother, Josh Porter. Josh, how you going?
What is going on? This episode was crazy. Absolutely
good. Crazy.
So good. I was just like, there's so much going on, and everybody's playing, everybody's just playing to their top of their abilities, trying to do the best for them, and it's just awesome. There's no followers here. It's great.
Everyone is playing optimism. Can I just say this? Episode 7s are always freaking awesome. They are. Like if you think back to Hero vs. Villains, the George vote out episode where he did all the crazy stuff, that was episode 7 as well. Episode 7s are always epic. You heard it here first.
Episode Heaven, thank you.
Oh, yeah, boy.
We got so much to come up, so let's get
straight into it. First of all, I just want to touch on a couple of things. One is alliance management.
Yes.
Okay. I think there were some really bad examples from good players of poor alliance management. So I think Pav, I think she managed her alliance with Cirie not great with the whole Kirby thing. I think it became really obvious that she was all in with Kirby, and Cirie gave her the heebie-jeebies, and that's ultimately why she ended up taking on Janine and turning on Kirby, and then turning Pav on Kirby. Then I think Cirie in this episode didn't manage her alliance with Janine very well. I think she iced Janine out.
Yeah.
And Janine was suddenly like, hang on, I thought I was with you a little bit last
we definitely heard
episode.
Janine call that out specifically, where she was hoping that vote was, well, let's get Pav and Cirie with me and Luke. Yeah. What a solid 4. And it seemed like it was just for that last vote.
Yeah, and then it iced out, and then just the icebox. The icebox out is never good. So a couple more things. There's so much to get through this episode. I'm like buzzing. I was shaking during that tribal council. I'm sorry. I was. I'm sorry.
It was very exciting. It was exciting stuff.
It was very exciting. Cirie's in a good spot, I feel.
Yep.
I feel like she's got these little relationship connectors. She's got Janine, she's got Lisa, she's got Pav. But she's annoyed that her name keeps getting brought up. And it's interesting because usually how she plays, her name isn't brought up. It's just at the very end where she gets taken out because everyone goes, oh, we have to get rid of Cirie now. Yeah. Very rarely is she always copping votes along the way. And so I think this time it's because she's seen as the not Pav vote. She's seen as we can't target Pav, so we'll get
let's
her.
split them up a bit. Split up that duo. The other thing I thought was interesting is Parvati. It seemed like there was genuine remorse around Kirby, and really felt like, was this someone I maybe should have kept who was pretty rock solid? Like it really didn't seem like an easy vote. And I think again, the speed of this game, it stays with you more because it's not 3 days. It's the next day you're going and you're seeing them over there, you know?
Yeah, so a couple of other little fun things I want to really, my Survivor senses were going off though. So Pav also tells Cirie about the knowledge is power in this episode,
huge,
right? Which she hadn't done before. And you feel that this is like a Pav thing that she does to help build bonds. She takes something real and she gives it to them to say, this is real. Like she did it with Rob and being on Dondi. She said, this is something real. Like she did it with Kirby. She gave Kirby real information, and she did it with Cirie here. And it's just this really nice way to make a realistic bond in the game, to be like, I'm giving you something real here. I'm showing you that.
Do you think there's any danger of someone like Cirie, who you've been with since day one, to be like, why didn't you tell me earlier? Like, is there some way that could be taken as a slight if they're in your alliance?
No. In a normal game, yes, with normal players, but with high caliber players, Cirie knows that she wouldn't have told Pav.
Yeah, sure.
Like at the same time. So it's just like, okay, this is what you do. You hold on to things, and when the time is right, you can share if you need to. Did you also note, and these are little things, these are little tiny, brilliant fucking things. So Cirie is at the spa with the group, yeah?
Yep.
And do you notice in that conversation, she's very, very subtly gets the target off Luke onto Shonny to protect Janine's number 2, because they have that conversation early in the episode where Janine, where she's talking to Luke and she's like, look, I think Janine and him are tight, so I want to keep that. And they immediately say Luke at that spa, and then she's like, well, what about Shonny? Shonny's the kind of player that
underestimated
can get around and underestimated and stuff like that. And it's very subtle. It's not like no, we're not. We have to save Luke.
Yeah.
It's very subtle, and you wouldn't pick up on it that she was doing it for a reason, and that's why she's so good.
Yeah, I think as well, it's that idea of you just paint a little bit of a target and maybe, hey, there's another target here, rather than outright we can't get rid of that person. It's like, hey, there's other threats, And also, I think in a game like this, that's really easy to pitch those cases because everyone here has a history, so you can really feed into that and pick and choose the things you want to do when you're trying to build up that threat level on someone else you want gone.
Yeah. Interestingly, from my exit interviews that we've been doing, it was actually, I know we credited Janine with starting the anti-Kirby ball rolling, but apparently Cass did a lot of the groundwork for that.
Right.
Like a lot. So Cass went around to everyone and was saying like, so who do you feel good with? Who wouldn't you vote for? And a lot of people were coming back with saying like, I feel good with Kirby. Kirby, like, I feel like she's got my back and all this sort of stuff. And so Cass realized that Kirby was playing the same game with everyone.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Hey, I'm with you. And then she basically outed Kirby to everyone, saying, she's saying that to, she's saying that to Sarah. She's also saying that to Pav. Yeah. She's also saying that to Luke. And that's where that that initial foundation of anti-Kirby came from.
Interesting.
And Kirby gave Cass a lot of credit for that as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, right.
And just before, and the last little thing, they smashed open the box.
Well, that was funny because I was
very
like,
very Mark.
But is that just being like, we want this information, we want more of this information, because clearly it's like, no one's looking for the key. You must know it's like a done thing. So it's interesting that they were like, let's just, I don't know. It was interesting because I'm like 100%, like as Tony was saying, he's like, I knew it was gone. Like everyone stopped looking for it. So it's just to be like, let's just make a bit more of a moment of it. And now you all know. Like,
now everyone knows. Exactly. And you can see them asking production and being like, can we just smash the box? And they're like, you know what? It's been long enough. Just do it. Yeah. I think that was good. The spa, Cass's little spa journey.
Yeah, what did you make of the picks?
The picks, it's always about the picks. So she chose Pav, Suri, and Tommy. I would have taken one of the Aussies. I would have taken a Janine.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Just to separate all the Aussies back home. And Janine had voted with them.
Yep.
In the last vote. So let's bring Janine back and let's start the conversation. Because what they've done is, by isolating the Australians so much, and we'll get to it in the scramble next, by isolating the Australians so much, you're really bonding them together into a breakdown, like into sort of a pushback. And so it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be.
How do you avoid though not picking the people in your alliance? Like, how do you avoid Lisa getting pissed off for not getting picked, and then say, do you knock out Tommy? Do you knock out Parvati? Do you knock off Sari? Who are you not taking in place of Janine?
You're not taking Tommy.
You leave Tommy out.
Yeah, I think the world people are smarter. Like, you have this strong alliance with the world people.
It really did feel like those three were super tight. Like, that's one of the big things I took away, that the conversations they were having were really solidly, we are a solid three. We've got this. Let's stay strong. We got this vote. What's next? This is what we're going to do, which is why it was so surprising that it all fell apart. And
not as surprising at all that they didn't take Shani. Shani's annoyed. No
right at all to be pissed off by that. I was like,
she hasn't voted with her. She didn't vote with her at the last one. She's got no relationship with Cass, and Shani gets annoyed because it's sort of her thing.
Very strange.
It's her thing to go to spas.
I'm
like,
strange.
That was weird.
Yeah,
that was pretty weird.
Yeah.
And then we get to the challenge, the stack and I'm calling it the stack and drip, Josh.
I don't think it'll catch on.
You don't think it'll catch on? All right, we'll see. Well, I'll send an email to JLP, see what he says. Really hard challenge, but all you do is, I didn't realize. I thought
you have to balance it same,
and I was like, that's impossible. Yeah, that is an impossible challenge.
I reckon they might have done that at some level, and then they went, no, this is impossible.
No. So basically, you fill it all the way up to the top.
Yep.
You place a block, and then you put some more water in. You place a block. That's the only way to do it.
I agree. You just keep it topped up. And a key moment for me was like, when you fill it to the level and it first tips, you need to recognize what that level is, because that's your danger zone.
Yeah.
That's your danger zone. Surprised. Everyone was struggling on the beam. So much struggle with the beam.
Yeah, I know.
It seemed like
it's weird.
No one ever struggles with the beam, and then this one, everyone's struggling with the beam.
Maybe the beam's thinner. Maybe it's a thinner beam or a shorter beam.
I did really like this one though. I thought you've got, there's an active element of the water filling up and all that kind of stuff. I was surprised that Tommy was the only one who really seemed to get it done really well. Like, it seemed like no one, and it didn't seem that difficult to me. It's like, just fill up the bucket and then do your tower stack. Like, it didn't seem as complicated. And maybe it's a moment of Tommy figured it out first. He's like, no, this is how you do this. And no one else quite got there.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, what happens is you try and get 2 blocks done in the time the water takes, but if you go off the beam, or if something happens and you go, because to make up time, that's the only way you're going to make up time is if you try and do multi-blocks, and then that ultimately like burns you out. And then you've got to come down to, you hope Tommy's stack falls.
And just quickly, with the stacks, is that optimal, the 2, 2, 2, 2, or do you put a flat level between them?
Yeah, so Janine was doing the stabilizing flat, which gives you a little bit more height, but there is a possibility that you run out of blocks, because I've seen that challenge done before where people have double stacked flat, and they've run out of blocks.
Yeah, right.
And they can't get it high enough, and they have to take it apart and do it again.
Do they show you in any way of like, when you're doing stuff like that, this is how it's designed to do, or they just go, these are the pieces, you figure it out?
In the challenge prep, they give you a guideline of like, this is how it sort of works, but you can really do it in any way. You can stack them any way you want. But remember, you've only got this many blocks.
Okay.
So you got to think that through.
Yep.
So then Tommy wins. Good on you, Tommy.
Very happy for Tommy to win. It was great. He's like, I got one all by myself. Didn't have to go to rocks.
Didn't have to do anything weird. Now, this is where the fun begins, because this is one of the this is crazy how this all sort of plays out now. First of all, can I just say, Tommy gets the classic immunity necklace big move-itis. Like, no credit to George.
Is that George? George's diagnosis, mate.
No. We're not saying that. But this is a particular strain of big move-itis that comes about when you win an immunity, and you suddenly get the feeling of, well, it's not going to come back and bite me in the ass, so I want to do something. And this is exactly what happened to Tommy. He feels totally safe, and he goes, you know what? Now's a great time to take out Parv. And this is the thing that really gets the ball. I like this move
because I saw it as a chance of like, it's going to get harder and harder and harder to get rid of Parvati, and the less places there are to hide, the more difficult it is to get the numbers to do it. So all you're doing is whittling down the numbers, and people become closer and more comfortable. So I quite like this from Tommy of like, this has got to happen. And his reasoning as well, I quite liked, of like, let's get a big scalp. Let's get one of these big people. Let's build this resume. Won't see it coming. And I think what really, it all fell apart was Lisa completely blew it apart.
Yeah.
And I was so disappointed. I'm like, I've cooled on Lisa so much from this episode, and it's so disappointing.
Yeah, because I was really liking Lisa.
So was I. It's just fallen in a heap now. I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's been well, but just before we get to the Lisa of it all, I want to go. I know you love that so much. I just want to go back a little bit. So, initially, the world, because this is what I see happening forward planning wise, right? So if this vote goes how it should have gone, they vote out Shonny, and Shonny goes home, right? Yep. That leaves Luke and Janine.
Yep.
And I think this then allows Parv and Sari to jump over to Luke and Janine.
Yep.
And then they become a 4.
Yep.
And then they take out 2 of the world.
Yep.
They take out Cass and they take out Tommy, leaving Lisa. Then they get Lisa back on board.
Yep.
And then flip it against the Aussies. And then take out. Then you're in the end with those 2 and Lisa. I think that was the end game that they were looking at. And so I get what you're saying. Tommy doing something now is
to me, it didn't feel like a bad move. It felt like we've got this solid core of 3, and to me, and I still don't quite know if Lisa got like the okay to go and tell the Aussies, because that was my big question. Like, a plan like this and such a big move, I know you were very cagey about minimum amount of people need to know about this.
Yeah.
Do you think you could pull in the Aussies on a massive plan like this, or is it too dangerous because you're showing a crack and they're going to jump on it?
So the thing that I love, so one thing they did wrong was that they just iced and stonewalled the Aussies straight up.
Yep.
No one talked to them, and they said it multiple times. The Aussies was like, no one talked to us today.
Yep.
No one talked to us. They kept to themselves. They come up with this plan of saying, we don't know, we don't know, we don't know. Stonewalled them. And like a viper in the corner of a room, when you don't give them anything and they've got nothing else to lose, they're just going to go nuts. They're going to go absolutely nuts. And if you give them crumbs, if you have conversations, if you make them say a name, if you go to them and be like, look, yeah, I don't want to just stick with the world. What do you guys want to do? And you put it on them and you get them thinking, or you get Luke and Janine thinking like, yeah, it's a Shonny vote. It's a Shonny vote. Yeah. And then suddenly Luke and Janine are thinking, well, do we just sacrifice Shonny now?
And keep us
And you
there.
get all these things happening. And then you know what you do? That stops those three getting together and being like, well, we're going to stick together. Now we could be the swing vote if one of the other tribe want to come over to us. Yep. So this was all played like incorrectly from them.
So you just thought feeding them in enough to make them feel comfortable to be like, well, we know we don't have power here, but give them enough that you go, no, you're aware of a plan. There's something happening. You've got some information.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Just or make them present something to you. Just like if you're Lisa or whatever, just be like, so what are you guys thinking? Like what are you guys thinking?
Because is the danger if you ever offer them a name, is the danger then they can go to other people in your alliance and be, well, Tommy just told us this information or so and so gave us this information, and
we've seen it happen. And I felt that on the island. I felt that like if I go to someone that I'm not locked into, and I say to them, hey, I think we should do Mark. And then they run off to Mark and say, hey, Mark, Eden's throwing your name out there. Then it blows up in your face. Yeah. You have to be so sure that they will also jump on the Mark name or whatever, or whoever. You've got to be so sure of it. And the thing that you need a relationship. You need social capital to do this. Lisa didn't have a relationship to walk up to Luke and tell him, hey, do this tonight. Do this.
The crazy thing, and it's almost backtracking on everything I've said about, but Lisa's won before. I'm like, you don't go and tell people we're doing this, but I'm not voting. Like,
oh, man.
That's just like absolute trash.
So okay, this really hurt me. I actually think that part of it really soured any goodwill.
Yeah.
I just think that notion of, and the thing is, if you think about it logically, it doesn't work because someone down the line will say, hey, Lisa was in on that vote and didn't do anything.
But it's 100% like we've spoke about before. You're kind of going to people and then you're like, well, I didn't write your name down. It's like, yeah, but you told them the plan and told them to do it. Like, it's just like this weird moralistic
semantics.
thing.
It's semantics.
It really is. It's like, and also, I think the thing I really disliked with Lisa, it's like, if you're really uncomfortable with that plan, work it out with Cass and Tommy. Like, that's your alliance. Like, talk it through with them, as they seemed like they'd been doing the whole time, which is why it was so surprising that it felt like she went completely rogue.
No, okay. Honestly, they must have made a decision who's going to tell the people.
Well, because they talked about this last minute thing of go tell them right at the end.
Oh, I guarantee you that this was that they'd said, okay, guys, 5 minutes left. And Lisa goes up to Luke and says, hey, like, do you want to save yourself? Put Parvati down. And the thing is, Lisa, like Kirby does that. Tony did that all through Winners at War. They're the personalities that can make you feel like, well, I have to do this or I'm dead.
Yeah.
If I don't do this, I'm out of it. Lisa doesn't have that A-type personality to be like, this is the plan. If you want to survive, jump on board. This is it.
Yeah.
She's not. She's just like, hey, if you guys,
it felt very
you guys could sort of do this and maybe this. And Luke's a alpha big personality, and he's like, what do you mean? What's this? No, I'm not going to do what you say.
Yeah.
Like it was the wrong. Like a Tommy might have at least been able to speak to Luke more on a one-on-one level.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a weird choice for Lisa.
I agree. It didn't seem like the right choice, especially when she wasn't fully on board with the plan. And they didn't. I think that's just most surprising that she wasn't super locked in on the plan, but she didn't want to hash that out with her alliance. She's like, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. It's like, well, don't they just find this out afterwards and then be like, what the hell, dude? Like,
I can't believe that Lisa said, I'm not going to be a vote. I'm not going to do it. I cannot believe if someone that's a bigger fan of the game would say that.
Yeah, very disappointing.
So they could turn around and say, well, I never voted for you guys. I stayed strong. It's like, that does not matter, Lisa.
Yeah.
It does not matter in this situation. Yeah, that was really weird. And you can tell Lisa genuinely loves the American players because she was really not loving it.
Yeah.
She's not loving this idea at all.
It just seems like, and then she's really, I think as well, we'll get to it a bit later, but this idea of, well, I've already won once. Like that idea of like, no, I've done it. I don't worry. And it's like, this is like the most all-star of all-star international thing. Like, get into it. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like everyone is there to win. And Lisa's kind of like, well, I've already won one. That's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird attitude.
Well, I've said this all season long, and I feel like it really crystallized here. Lisa legitimately seems like the type of person that will throw her game away for Sari to win. To be like, you know what?
You said that.
You know what? It's really cool because I love Sari and I really wanted to win one because she's never won one. And that's actually cool. If I don't win, Sari can win, so that's fine. I'm like, she is that person that would do that.
Yes.
Like, that's what's weird.
Which I'd be surprised to know how she navigated through her end game in her season.
Yeah. Well, I think, and she mentions it in this where she says, like, I burnt a lot of people and I broke a lot of trust and relationships and people like don't like me after the season.
Yeah, right, okay.
And that she at least wanted to try and hold true to some things.
Okay,
but I'm like, man. Oh, man.
It was also interesting that Parvati picked up the vibes are off. It's like the vibes are off.
Dude.
Something's not right. And I wonder if like
That's why she's the best.
Well, I wonder if the 3 world could have. I think when it's such a big move, here's a question for Eden. Tommy pitching that Parvati vote to the rest of the world, like their little internationals, how quickly can you organize and discuss a big move like that? Because it's a big move, but you don't want to spend too long away, right? So how...
You don't want to spend too long away. And yeah, so the thing is, if everyone's... What kills you, and this killed me, and this killed things, if there's someone that doesn't jump on it straight away... and you have to convince them, it destroys it. This is exactly what happened with my vote against Ray. The girls were not 100% on board, and I had to convince them. And that extra time just really...
makes people go, something's up.
Makes people like, why are they still talking? Why are they still talking? And if I have to convince you that much to get you on board, then it becomes obvious. And I could see that happening exactly in this game.
Yeah.
I could see them. Lisa was not on board, and that they kept having to be like, yeah, but this and this, and think about this, and rah, rah. And it just got bigger and bigger. And Pav, the queen that she is, picks up on all of this and just goes, the vibes are off.
Yeah, she's like, they're taking a long time to decide something that we've already
the vibes are off.
Kind of know.
Yeah. And it's insane. And so now we're at Tribal Council, right?
Yes.
And this is all happening super last minute. So Pav's already thinking this is weird. And we know this because the chat starts immediately. The Australian
straight
players
away. Janine's
are
right
just
into
like,
it.
hey, are we should we just do Lisa? Should we just do this? And they're already into it. So it just shows you that this new information that came to Luke so late has really sort of shifted things. And they're like, hang on a minute.
One thing I found interesting is under what circumstances, and I know you spoke about Lisa probably being a bad person to pitch it. Do you reckon the Aussies get on board with the Parvati vote if it's built up in a different way? Because I found it interesting to be like, well, you've got this plan here that you could go with and follow through and get rid of a massive player, or you could see it as a chink in the armor and be like, all right, let's just cause chaos, let's blow up the whole other side. What do you think is the best way to play that?
Honestly, it's pick your targets. I cannot believe they don't sort of go, to Janine at this point.
Who?
Or like the world. The world goes to Janine and says, hey, this is another big play. Like, you did Kirby with Sari. This is another big one, and we can make this happen. And, like, it could... Or Shani. Like, Shani's got no one. Shani has nothing. Shani was so invisible. Like, this was another weird episode for Shani.
Agreed.
I feel like Shani's not really doing anything.
No, it hasn't felt that way at all.
She's got no agency. She's got no allies. She's got no decision-making.
It doesn't feel that way at all.
It's a weird spot she's in. And her edit has just been, like, occasional... This is
in the background.
This is the Shontent. This is the Shontent you want. I'm like, there's not a lot there at the moment.
And so what do you make of Janine calling that audible with Luke straight away of like, let's go on Lisa? Like,
it was great. I think it was great. They got a sense that this, and then it was obvious that if they're going on Lisa, they're going to blow up Lisa's spot. And, and exactly what Luke did. Luke said, yeah, I'm blowing up Lisa's spot. Lisa actually came, and that's when everything started to blow up. Now, before all this happens, Pav takes a little something out of the Tony Vlachos playbook here, and she works it perfectly. She puts the idol on her neck.
Yep.
And this is, oh my God, this is just, you couldn't have played this any better. This is what people talk about using idols without using them. As soon as she put that on her neck, she was not really discussed as a viable target for the next 2 tribal councils.
No.
Spoiler alert, there was 2 tribal councils. And it just worked perfect. And she didn't even play it.
And the other thing that was good as well, there was another part to it where she says, I'm going to play it for either me or Sari. So she's also thrown in Sari as an ally and gone, hey, we're tied and I've locked you in there. And also thrown in that doubt of like, if you target either one of us, you might be wrong. So maybe don't go for either. So she's even done that again, that like, well, I'm also demonstrating to my ally that I'm super solid with her. And also it is keeping her safe, because are they going to roll the dice on that? I don't think so. Like...
So when Parv says that, right, and it's all out in the open, I actually think a play there is then you go, if the world probably goes to Australia and goes, guys, Parv still has her idol, let's make her play it, and let's
3-3.
If she's going to play her and Sari, let's put our votes on, because it's 3-3.
You could have done 3-3 Parv and Sari.
3 and
that would
Sari,
have been
3
amazing.
and Parvati. And it's like, and then it's game over. Like, one of them goes home, guys.
Yeah.
Like, one of the biggest threats in the game goes home. We'll regroup and we'll keep playing.
That would have been amazing.
Like, that would have been an interesting... There were all these pitches that people could have done that they didn't quite. I love, just a general comment, I love the fact that no one is really on the bottom and people on the top are always looking for opportunities. This is the level of play that we have, that we want. It's awesome. It's amazing.
Well, I think no one feels particularly safe. And so it's like... you're kind of moving vote to vote. And I find it really interesting because the clear pathways, they don't seem to be there. Like, they're obviously thinking about this at this level, but it seems like there's every possibility is entertained at every different moment. And it's really changing day by day. And because of this condensed game, the way you voted yesterday is not the way you're going to vote today, because something slightly changes. You're like, okay, cool, this is the new pathway. Or, well, I've still got these allies. We can move forward with them, I'm sure. And that's what I found really interesting. Like, it's not maybe a few pairs locked in, like Luke and Janine and Parvati and Sari. But it feels like everyone's just willing to work with everyone. And as you say, no one wants to be on the bottom, and everyone wants to try and make moves, but not like ridiculous moves, I don't think.
So good. The other thing that Sari does here that I love, Sari, and this is like why they're so good. They're so good. So Sari just says, ring of truth. What has the ring of truth to it? And she says straight up, this is such a good read. She says, what Luke is saying right now has the ring of truth. It is complicated.
It's too elaborate.
It's logical. It's not something that you're just pulling up out of your ass. And she's so good. Like, it's in her DNA. It's in her radar to go like, you know how this guy's talking to me right now? I can break all that up and go, yeah. Why add the little bit of fluff about Lisa saying I don't want to do it? Like, that's genius.
Do you think it's possible to come up with an elaborate lie like that? Like, to give it that ring of truth and give it those details. How difficult is it? You have to be
so good, man. Yeah. It's so difficult. It's so difficult to go right in the moment. Go, well, yeah, Lisa had her shoes untied, and I meant like adding like a little weird comments, but. Which you could do, but to add like strategic bits of color reasoning is really hard. Well, it's really and even Sari said, I was waiting for Luke to trip up something that he said, or say like, oh no, Tommy was there as well. Tommy, you said Tommy wasn't there. Like, she was waiting for that, and it never came. Well, because it's the truth.
The other interesting thing, and I just felt this from Lisa, this whole tribal council, was like her saying that thing of like, well, I'm the only one who's being straight here. Like, why am I being targeted? I was the one who actually tried to get it off Parvati and like didn't want to vote for her. And I was just kind of like, it felt like, I was like, Lisa, fight right now. What is going on? Like, it seemed, it was so strange.
Lisa was like in headlights. Lisa was
bizarre.
Like, I don't know what to do right now, and I'm freaking out because she needs to fight for her life. In that situation,
that's what I was shocked about. Like,
no, Pav, what the fuck?
And then Tommy's like, go and talk to her. Like,
yeah.
The one thing, I don't know if people caught it, what I found really interesting, there was some moment early on when it was all starting to come apart, and just Tommy had this zoned out, dejected look on his face. And I was like, he's just like, man, I had this plan and it's completely gone to shit.
I have that exact note. I said, Tommy's face is, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And it was literally like, oh, wow, this has just blown up insanely. And I think at that moment, he's like, I think I've got Lisa voted out in that moment. And then Lisa's face, it goes, and Lisa is the same thing. Like, how is this blown up so much in my face? And I just want to touch on the lie thing again, and being able to create stuff. This is why, and I've always said this, Josh, I've always said this. This is why the best lies are ones that are based in a truth.
Yep.
So you base it around a nugget of truth, and then you add your lie onto it because you get the color from the truth, and then you add the lie to sort of hide it. It's like in Inception when they talk about never dream about real life. Always do new places. It's the same thing. You use the nugget of the concept of it. It's exactly the same.
Chris Nolan would be great on Survivor.
Oh, dude, he would be. So can we get to this? Then we get to the knowledge is power. Okay.
Hang on, before we do, one thing I just saw Cass working so hard on Parvati. I found that so interesting.
Yes.
Like working so hard, like her pleading to her and like, no, you're safe. Like, because she said more than anyone, she was like, this can't blow up now. This has to be settled. And I found her pleads to, it was such an interesting thing of her working so hard to convince Parvati and Parvati being like, I'm done. I'm checked out. And then she obviously came to the knowledge of power.
Parv has this way of just being like, no, I've made my decision now. Yeah. This is what's happening. Let's vote. The amount of times that she tells Jonathan it's time to vote is crazy. So knowledge is power. Cass goes to use her idol, right?
Yep.
And then Parv says, well, hang on a minute, I've got this thing. Now, I don't like the fact that Cass can be halfway walking to Jonathan with her idol out, and then Parv goes, no, stop. I'm stealing that now. Right? I don't like that.
No.
I don't think you should reveal that you have an idol. And then the whole idea of the knowledge is power is that you ask someone before they use it and you're not sure, and then they go, I do have one, and they steal it off.
It eliminates the knowledge part of it. Like, that is the key part of it. You have knowledge of this thing, not that, they did it and they stole it. All I was doing when Cass, I was like, just run up to it and play it. Just run up to it. I'm playing this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
has to
I agree because you need some element of risk there. And like, it shouldn't be a thing that is like, if someone goes to play an idol, you stop them. It's like, that's dumb. Like, that should not be how it should be. There should be an element of risk that you could use it incorrectly.
What it should be in the voting booth, you should write your vote, and then you should get your knowledge is power thing, and you go, I'm also using my knowledge is power. I'm going to use it on Cass tonight.
Yep.
And if she's got an idol, I take it. And you put that in. And then when Cass goes to use her idol, you say, actually, someone has used the knowledge of is power, and they've used it on you, Cass. Do you have an idol? And you
or even if she doesn't go to use it, right? It's just like,
she does. Yeah, sorry, she doesn't have to use it. It just gets announced because then it gets used. It just was. This seemed really weird and messy. That it did.
But then the most interesting thing about it was then that conversation, and it speaks to how much. And I couldn't quite figure this out between Cass and Parv of like, was Cass definitely in on the plan or not? To get rid of Parvati, because the way she was pleading with her was kind of like, nah, it's not on. It's not happening. You're safe. You're completely safe. And then she's like, cool, and I'm going to use it on Lisa, which was really interesting.
She was, so she was backtracking. She was in it. She was on it, because Parv and her have had this sort of rivalry, and I think she would have liked to have blown it up. She's definitely in it, and then it was like, okay, we've got to salvage this now, because this is all blown up. So I think when Cass and Parv are talking about the knowledge is power and who to use the idol on, and Lisa sort of says, I'm using it. Cass sort of says, I'm using it for Lisa.
Yeah.
Right. And then Parv goes, okay, I won't use this now.
Yeah.
I think in that moment, and this is so hard because it's crazy and it's so crazy, but you've got to think in that moment, if she isn't going to use it on you, so there's two possibilities. One is that she's on board with you, and if that's the case, you've got the votes. Lisa doesn't have enough votes on her, so you don't need to use your idol, and Parv is doing that just to make you waste your idol.
Yep.
Right? Or that Lisa isn't the target. Parv's fine for you to play it against Lisa because you're the target.
Yeah.
So they're actually the only two outcomes.
Well, I guess
and both of them are bad for Cass.
Yeah, you've got to be thinking, well, what is in the best interest of Parvati right now? What is in her brain right now? What knowledge does she have? And that's why I found it so surprising that it was more like Cass was just convincing Parvati to be like, no, let me play it. I'm playing it on Lisa, which is right. It's all good. Don't worry. Rather than actually using that as a moment to gather information. Like, it seemed odd that there was it didn't seem like for Cass, it was like, oh, no, I just need to play it. I just need to say the right things to make sure I can play this idol instead of having it stolen, rather than, well, what's this information I'm getting from Parvati now based on that.
Yeah. But it's just, it's wild that Tommy was immune and Lisa had an idol played. So two of the three internationals were immune.
Yeah.
And it's still, at the end of this whole thing, two of them went home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
crazy.
is absolutely crazy. So that's what I think, that's what I think happened with the Cass. And I'm devastated that Cass went home. But I really liked it.
Do you think, though, just to the knowledge is power quickly, if Parvati steals that and just holds it, then she has two idols, right?
Yes.
So is there an element that, like, we'll just do that because I'm voting Cass anyway, and then I'll just have two idols?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
she should, if you're voting Cass, like, okay, so I had this thought, right? So the knowledge is power could be a target on your back.
Yeah.
Right? But I think you play it, you go to your alliance and you say, I've got this. It's not a target on my back because all I'm going to do, our next person we vote off, I'm going to take their idol if they have one, and that should guarantee that no idols, that they don't play an idol, because no one's playing an idol. Well, actually, Cass just did. Cass just did that. But I think this late in the game, it would be very rare for someone not to play an idol for themselves.
Yep.
And so you say to them, no, guys, this is to make sure we get out Parv, or we get out this person, because I'm going to use it on them.
Yeah, it's interesting that Parvati wouldn't want to have two. There must be some extra thinking there about why you wouldn't necessarily want two idols. Just to run through the votes quickly. So we had Luke, Janine, Shonny, and Sari and Parv all on Cass. And then we had Lisa and Cass going for Luke. And then we had Tommy going for Shonny. So very strange that those three didn't even vote together.
Did Tommy go Shonny?
Yeah, in the post-credits.
That is weird.
Very strange.
That is really weird, because they would have needed all four other people to vote.
So I don't know if there's some sort of miscommunication or some moment where Cass and Lisa are just like, let's do Luke. So very strange, but like I don't quite understand.
Unless, there
might have been so many names going around in those moments.
And so then we think that everything's hunky dory, and then JLP says, we're going to do another vote someone else off now. Now, this completely blindsided me. I had no idea that this was happening.
Yeah.
This was so crazy. This was literally
do you like it?
Crazy. I think they needed to do a double elimination, and I think doing it here is great.
I think you get the way that the tribals have been going and the amount of audibles happening, you're still getting like, nah, you've got to figure this out real quick. And you're almost like, what are your instincts telling you? So you're just getting all these great players to be like, follow your instincts right now, because you have to make a decision. You have to talk to a couple of people and you've got to figure out what is your best game plan for the next little bit. And that's what I really like about it. Like, to me, you still got the same amount of thinking and chatting and working it out. You didn't necessarily lose anything by making that happen back, at the beach. So I thought it was great to be like, no, these players can figure it out. The only thing that I found interesting that you lose that cooling off period. So I felt a bit bad for Tommy, because I was like, I didn't mind Tommy's pitch. We should just remind people. So Luke ended up winning, which I think was really valuable because I think he could have kind of been a target.
He could have been a target because he could have won stuff. I think he really needed it. Can we just mention JLP's, like, the wider your balls are,
balls on the edge of the table,
dangerous it is. He was loving every minute of that. But yeah, straight away when that challenge started, I said, I think Luke is going to win this, and he did.
It didn't, again, it seemed like no one else got close. Like,
no one else even got close, man.
Very interesting to have two challenges that really just single person excelled.
Yeah, and I feel like at the end of this episode, with Tommy and Cass gone, I feel like the challenge threats are probably Luke and Parv at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So yeah,
sitting back at the benches, I didn't. Again, I was pretty hot on Tommy. I quite liked him. Despite it all fell apart, I quite liked Tommy's stuff this episode.
Tommy stuffed up everything. What did you like about Tommy?
His pitch now of like, it's all blown up with these two. Hey guys, you've got a chance to get on to break up this duo. I don't think that's a bad pitch in that moment to be like, this is all gone to shit now. I've been outed. Hey, Aussies, do you want to get out one of the big players? I think that's a good pitch in that moment, because I don't think Parvati's coming back to you. I don't think Sari's coming back to you after Parvati's gone like, nah, you tried to dog me. You tried to get me. I think this is a good move from Tommy to try and save himself.
I think, okay, there's another pitch here that I was surprised that didn't get used, I think it's really hard when someone puts your name out there. It's just like, okay, you're dead to me, whatever. But I think the pitch is everyone's going to put everyone's name out there at some point. We're all here. We're all good players, and we all remake alliances, remake decisions, because this isn't a game of, oh, you voted for me last week, now I'm going to get revenge. It's not. So you say that, and then you go, yep, we had a plan. It's all blown up now. Whatever. let's reset now, right now. And the thing that I'm worried about, if you vote me or Lisa off, you are giving so much power over to the 3 Australians. And it's literally you 2 and Lisa are in a position now against 3 of them. Are they likely to split off now?
Yep.
Probably not. We've pushed them into a corner. Right now, let's get rid of one more of those guys and give us a position to move forward in the game.
I
think that I was surprised that didn't come out.
That is really good. And I found it interesting as well, like Luke also coming to the idea of maybe Tommy's a good pick. Like, he is burning some bridges now. Maybe he's a good one to stick around a little bit longer because he's going to be an easy vote later. And just generally, I think this episode and the last episode, I've been really, really impressed with Luke. And I think it's really coming through now. He's like, some of his reads on things are going really well. He's doing just enough. Like, his name's not really floating to the top. Vote hasn't always been going where he thought it did, but I think he's positioning himself really well. Janine's been this sort of background player for him as well. Like, they've been a strong pair. Janine's jumped over, done some stuff, but I think he's coming real good, I think.
But he was totally blindsided on the Kirby vote. He had no idea that was happening. What was the one before that? It was Sarah.
Yes.
He didn't. Did he vote Sarah?
No, that was just the 4 because that was at the 5-5 split. Maybe it's more. Maybe it's more. I'm impressed with his positioning, that he's managed to be in a spot, like that he's got. I think his chats to Kirby of like, nah, too soon to swing on that.
It massively helps that there's still Parv and Sari and these big targets in the game, because if those guys aren't there, Luke is the number 1 target.
I just feel like at this stage of the game, like, the advantages and idols that are out there, it's like, you've got to target these people or they're just going to go through. Like, Parvati and Sari are just going to go all the way unless you figure out ways to burn that idol while there's still numbers to do it.
We're in final 6 and Parv has an idol and a steal an idol.
Yeah, because she didn't use it, did she?
No. So that's crazy.
I guess actually
Luke's got an idol.
What we said before about not stealing it, that's why, because she can still steal another one. That's why she chose. She's like, it's more valuable to have this ability than another idol.
Yeah, that's true. And so then Lisa is now in a shame spiral of her own creation,
so
and just says, "Oh, I'll quit and save Tommy. I'll just quit now."
Ridiculous,
insane.
Yeah, and I could see Joe to be like, "There's like 5 days left. What are you doing?" Like,
yeah, and this is someone genuinely feeling guilt and like, I've stuffed up. I feel bad. And I had that feeling as well when I thought our vote was going sideways, where I went home. I did feel the logical thing to happen would be for them to target Caro, because I knew Mark and V would have jumped on the Caro's flip vote, and then I started to feel bad. I'm like, oh man, I put this all stuff in motion, and now Caro's might get sent home, and you do feel bad.
Yeah,
but would I blow up my entire game? Like, Lisa was like, I will quit right now. I've won Survivor. I've lived my dream. I've got to play with these people. That's crazy.
Yeah. To quit a season like this in that moment, it's like, nah, you don't quit Survivor. Like, the argument of like, Tommy's got a better chance of winning than me. It's like, well, now.
Does he?
My question to you, Eden, is Lisa the guaranteed GOAT now? Is everyone take her to be like, she wanted to quit? Definitely don't pick her.
Yeah, maybe that's her secret plan. Maybe that's her secret plan. Code. Maybe she is literally like, you know what? Everyone's going to want to keep me around now.
I don't think
that would be 4D chess.
Yeah, that would be. I think that's generous.
Chess.
But do you think that's fair that in an all-star season like this, is someone offered to quit and then reneged it? Are you like, you can't win now? Like, I'm not going to give you the votes over anyone else because you said you quit.
If you look at the board, I don't think Lisa beats anyone on the table. Left.
Shani hasn't done a lot.
But see, I think there's going to be enough Aussies on the jury that I think they will give it to Shani over Lisa.
Do you think that'll be a factor?
I feel like, I think it'll be a little factor. Okay, it depends who she's up against, because I think maybe Shani beats Lisa.
Yeah, it depends what happens in the next few votes, right? I guess if there's
the thing
more
is,
big
this because of this incident, I feel like Lisa's stock has massively dropped.
I think so. Yeah.
And it's going to be like, she's not beating Luke, she's not beating Cerise, she's not beating Poverty, she's not beating Janine. Like, yeah. I just can't think, this whole game feels so different now without Cass. It is
crazy that, like, I feel like Lisa completely blew up this plan in that one conversation with, it was Luke and Shani, wasn't it? At the beach. It was like, it feels like that completely destroyed this plan completely. And for where they were in such a solid position, I was like, cool. These internationals, they're a solid 3. They're going to go real far. 2 of them gone. Like, crazy to me. I did not see this coming at all, that they would go out this way. It just seemed like so implausible.
Especially with Cass having an idol.
Oh, it's crazy.
Okay, so let's just talk it through for a second. So what if Cass plays her idol correctly?
Then Luke goes.
No, he doesn't. Because if Cass plays her idol correctly, Luke then plays his idol.
Oh, you reckon? Do you reckon he reckons he's threatened?
Yeah.
And Shani goes with 1.
Then Shani goes home with 1. That's what actually happens.
Yeah, right.
Because if you think about it, if the person you're voting for uses an idol, now you have no idea where the votes are. You have no idea at all.
Yeah.
And so I think you have to go, well, I'm going to just use mine now as well.
Yeah.
And then, Shani goes home with 1 vote, which again changes the whole dynamic of the game.
It was such a crazy episode. So good though.
So crazy.
I don't quite feel they were hard done by either. Like, so you know how sometimes you're like, oh, this little thing happens and they really got screwed at tribal and they couldn't do anything. It's like, I don't know. It's just like the plan fell apart. The switched on players jumped on it, flipped it round, caused confusion, all this kind of stuff, and then just played it out in the next vote as well. So yeah, just great. It was. I think it's really satisfying when you have like a bonus tribal like that. It doesn't feel cheap.
No, not at all. So things we learned, I feel like, don't try and do a blindside without committing to it.
Yeah.
Like, it only hurts yourself. And the other thing we learn is, don't stonewall people of this caliber in a corner with no information and starve them out, because crazy stuff will happen.
Yeah.
Like last minute. Like, crazy stuff will happen. So that's, mate, what an episode, bud.
Crazy episode.
We've got a spin and grin
we do.
right now.
Spin and grin.
So who's spinning and grinning, Josh?
I feel like Parvati's read on everything. And the people who were coming for her are gone. So I think I'd be hard pressed to go past Parvati, given I think she revealed her idol really well. The knowledge is power was revealed and been powerful. Like, the things she did were really powerful.
I'm going to give a point to Luke as well, because I think Luke blew up the Lisa plan, dropped truth bombs, and he won immunity.
So that was the other thing that was crazy, was when Lisa went off with Luke.
Lisa told the truth.
I was just like, hey, I just want to get this out. This is exactly what went down. That was nuts. I was like,
that I feel like that totally burnt the world. When Lisa was just like, oh yeah, Pav, this is what happened. Tommy said this to me. I didn't really want to do it, but I told them about it, and that's how it happened.
It's crazy.
It's just like, oh, okay, well then that's what happened, because you've just confirmed everything.
I guess that's not thinking through a game plan. That's just, sorry, it was she told Parvati. It's like, that's not thinking through a game. That's just like, well, I could just tell her the truth and maybe that'll fix things. Like, it just didn't seem considered
let's
at all.
Let's just be honest, because I can't think of a lie.
And you know what, for that, Eden, I think
it was to rustle feathers.
Oh, so good, man. So good. I think I'm going to give it to Tommy and Lisa, I think.
I'm going to give it more to Lisa, because I think she blew it up in a way.
But Tommy had the...
Tommy...
They said rustle feathers.
Tommy just...
Thank you.
Tommy set up the whole thing, but I didn't dislike it. But I think you're right. I think it's in the absence of that immunity. Does he play that? But I think he's right to be like, guys, you got to break up this Serene Parvati. Like, if this doesn't break up, I think they're going to run it right through. And where they're based now, I think they're in such a good spot to run it through.
Yeah, massively. That's it. This is a big episode today, but a huge episode
awesome
to watch.
Episode.
So much fun. We've only got 1, 2, 3 episodes left now.
It's coming on
3
quick.
episodes left. Oh my God, this has gone so quick. Can we please like and subscribe? We hit the 400 subscriber mark, which is amazing. But please tell your friends if you're not subscribed on YouTube, get involved.
And just comment.
It's so good.
Comment and engage. It goes a long way to sharing the show. Tell your mates. But thank you so much. I love this episode. It's just this season.
So
it's just
good.
getting better and better. Like everything I heard about it beforehand, it is absolutely living up to it.
It's so good, man. It is so good.
All right.
Yeah, cool. We'll see you next episode,
next time,
guys.
folks.
Bye.